Today is November 23rd, 2019, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3, and over the last couple days, I asked you guys for questions, so now I'm just going to go through and answer all these questions. Hopefully try and make this as quickly as possible. I'm just going to read them off my phone, so I don't have them like memorized or written down or anything, but whatever. I'm just going in, the order they show up in the comment section either, so I'm not specifically singling people out. Oh, great. Blinders or 123 asked, why so many old school Xboxes? I have a lot of Xboxes because I like Xbox and because they were cheap. I was looking at a place, I won't say what or where that place was to protect my secrets, but it was like I could buy a bundle of 5 working original Xboxes for like $10, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So that's how I have 10 Xboxes and only one of them doesn't work. So yeah, I like Xbox a lot, and I like playing it. I like to have Xbox stuff just as like a fallout, like a insurance in case something were to happen, and I'll still be able to play this game because I have like a backup of it or an extra controller, so I don't have to worry about shelling out a lot of money to buy something used on eBay. What's next? Zero the Horse asked, what's my name? My name is Liam. When did you start playing Half-Life? I started playing Half-Life about 2004, I think, when it came out. I first played it on the original Xbox, and then eventually I got the orange box, and that's where I played Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2. My favorite character, it's kind of tough to say Gordon is your favorite character because he's kind of barely even a character. I mean, there's nothing that he does that isn't directly influenced or controlled by you. So I like Barney. I always thought Griggs and Sheckley were funny in Episode 2. I like them. I like the Vortigaunts. They're pretty neat. Let's see, what's next? A lot of people talking about the floating hands. Lyren asked if there was a reason I hadn't played Half-Life 1 yet. I feel like that's asked a couple times in this. I haven't played Half-Life 1 just because. I mean, there is no real reason why I haven't played it. I guess I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm not specifically not playing it, but I am going to be playing it soon. I'm going to be doing the Let's Play of Half-Life that will be exclusive on the Patreon. Oh no, shoot, I messed up here. And so I will be playing it eventually. X Leap asked if there are any indie games that I like, because I mentioned liking some AAA games. I can't really think off the top of my head any indie games that I like or played. I'm not crazy, with video games. I don't consider myself a gamer. I do play a lot of games, but I don't really consider myself a gamer. I don't actively seek out new games or stuff like that. I haven't gotten a new game in a while. Just a couple Xbox One games. Maybe the most recent game is, I don't know, just stuff a while ago. Just trying to think of some Xbox One games I know I have. Dead Rising 3, Watch Dogs, Destiny. I never played Destiny. The Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I never played that either. Evolve, I never played that. I just have these games I just have never played. It's usually like some type of package deal. You know, buy 2 games, you get a 3rd game free. So I buy the 2 games I want, and then there's like, well, what else do I get? Get Evolve, I guess. I never end up playing it. Shadow of Mordor, I think I have that. Never played that. Far Cry 4. Haven't played Far Cry 5. I think that's a thing. Isn't that in like Montana or something? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not hugely a gamer. I mostly play the older stuff that I liked as a kid. Wait. Oh, he also asked. X-Leap also asked if I plan on getting a headset to play Half-Life Alyx. I mean, I guess I would have to if I want to play Half-Life Alyx. I do want to get a headset. I would like to get the Valve Index, mainly because that's kind of how they intended for it to play. And it seems like Knuckles is going to be something that's kind of important for playing Half-Life Alyx, in my opinion. So I would like to get the Index, if I could. I don't know if maybe I'll get something else, or I might have to wait a little bit and get the Index. I don't know. Okay, what is next? Scottish Rob 13 asked, why did you get into this when you did? So I guess more when I started this, it was just kind of random. I just thought of the idea and started doing it. I mean, sure, maybe I should have started this a while ago. I guess a part of me kind of wishes I did, but it's just the idea that I had of being like, oh, I'll do this. So I just started. It was weird. Rectangle Boy asked, when will you stop doing Half-Life 3 updates? I've had this question before, and I've answered it before. There are a couple reasons why I would stop making the Half-Life 3 updates. Most obvious 2 reasons would be my death or Half-Life 3 being released. There's a couple other reasons. I guess reason number 3, if I couldn't do this, then I wouldn't. If there was some reason preventing me from doing it, then I would stop. Again, that seems kind of obvious. Like, if I couldn't financially afford it somehow, then I wouldn't do it. Which doesn't seem possible, because this really isn't costing me anything to do this. I'm not, like, renting a camera for this or anything. Reason number 4, I would suppose if I didn't like doing it, like I didn't want to do it anymore, I would just stop. I'm not doing this. I wouldn't do this if I didn't want to do this. That's it. I'm doing it because I want to do it, and because I kind of like doing it. So that's why I'm doing it. And then I guess the 5th reason I would stop is if we had some type of official announcement from Valve that Half-Life 3 would never happen. So if like let's say Half-Life Alyx comes out and it doesn't make a lot of money and it doesn't do well and people don't like it, and then a couple months later Valve comes out and says, okay, fine, you didn't like Half-Life Alyx, we're never going to make Half-Life 3. If that were to happen, then I would stop making updates. The updates exist because Half-Life 3 is in this sort of limbo where you don't really know what's going on or what's happening with the game. And even though Half-Life Alyx is confirmed and it's going to come out, it still exists in this limbo because we still don't know what's gonna happen with Half-Life Alyx, since now Half-Life 3 being a possibility is kind of connected with Half-Life Alyx's success. So those are a couple reasons why I would stop. What else? Right. Malika Huza asked, would I rather fight 5 headcrab-sized Combine soldiers or 1 Combine-sized headcrab? I feel like there was another question like this. 5 headcrab-sized Combine soldiers or 1 Combine-sized headcrab. I would guess I would rather fight 5 headcrab-sized Combine soldiers because I suppose in that scenario they wouldn't have any weapons. Because they couldn't be holding a gun, because that would be a big gun. So it's not five head cramp sized combine soldiers with proportionally scaled weapons. I would assume that they don't have any weapons, so they're just gonna like kick at your feet and punch your shins. I think that would be significantly easier to handle. Let's see. Not Brandon also asked about the Xboxes. I guess you just asked too late. Meat Ninja also asked why I haven't played the original games. And he asked if I was just not interested. It's not that I'm not interested, it's just that I just haven't. You know, it comes down to that with movies. There's a lot of movies where I haven't watched them, you know. When I watch something or play a video game, there kind of needs to be a reason to play it, or a reason to watch the movie. And if I don't have a reason, I just won't do it. You know, like, to stick with the movies metaphor, the best way, a movie just being a good movie isn't a good enough reason for me to watch it. You know, say something like Lincoln, the Steven Spielberg film. I did watch that. You know, people say, oh, it's a good movie, it's a good movie. I had no interest in watching it, but I ended up watching it in school, and I didn't really care for it. I thought, like, yeah, sure, it's a good movie. It's kind of boring. I don't really care that much. So, I mean, I need more of a reason than something being good. And there really hasn't yet been a reason for me to play Half-Life. I did play Black Mesa, because that seemed, you know, more up-to-date. You know, and you can always end up with problems when you play an old game for the first time, because I think, you know, nostalgia plays a little bit of a factor in the older games that you liked when you played them. So since there's really no nostalgia tied in with me liking Half-Life, I mean, there's also the possibility that I just play Half-Life and I just don't like it as much. So, let's see. Steedy asked, when did I first find out about Half-Life? I guess when I played it in about 2004 on the original Xbox. Let's see. Meat Ninja also asked, I guess he asked, I played the original Watch Dogs and liked it. I honestly didn't know that people didn't like Watch Dogs. I enjoy Watch Dogs a lot. I think it's very fun. I like playing it. It's news to me that people don't like it. I mean, they made a sequel and they made a third, so clearly some people like it, but maybe people don't like it. I like it. Let's see. I feel like there's more stuff in the next update. You know, scrolling down. A lot of people talking about the hands. What else? Just scrolling down. Math492 also said, you know, asked about me not playing Portal 2. I have just same reason for Half-Life. I just haven't gotten around to it. You know, I've played other things, been watching other stuff. But I will get around to playing Portal 2. That will be one of the last games I play in my Let's Play leading up to Half-Life 2. I mean, Half-Life Alyx thing. Gavin G asked, do I ever plan on making a Let's Play on the original Half-Life games? Yes, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to play all the Half-Life games on a Let's Play, Patreon exclusive. Half-Life 1, all the way to, I suppose, Portal 2. I think Portal 2 is the most recent, quote-unquote, Half-Life game. Not So Native asked, since you've never played the first Half-Life game, what got you into Half-Life 2? Again, playing it on... This guy asked a lot of questions. Playing it on Xbox. He also asked, do I mainly play on consoles, PC, or both? I would suppose it would be both. I know earlier I mostly played on consoles just because that's what I had and it was, I guess, cheaper. I don't really prefer one to the other. What I do prefer is playing with the controller. I know people are gonna give me crap about that, but I do prefer playing with the controller, so that I will connect a controller to my computer when I play a game on PC. I guess the benefit of PC is obviously Steam is a very good thing to have. You buy these games, you kind of have them, you don't gotta worry about them, you don't gotta worry about discs being scratched or losing them or you're, not working. He also asked, what are some of your other favorite games besides Half-Life 2? I like Fallout. I like Fallout 4 a lot. Surprisingly, Fallout 4 is my favorite Fallout game. Indigo Prophecy, Simpsons Hit and Run, Deus Ex Human Invisible War. I like that a lot. I guess that's another game people don't like, but I like that. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, kind of random. Destroy All Humans, I like that game. Oh, I like Halo a lot. Halo is another one of those games. It's kind of like Halo and Half-Life 2 are some of my favorite games, so next year is going to be kind of big with both those games getting another entry in the same year. What else do I like? Like the Far Cry games, Far Cry 1, 3, and 4. I've never played Far Cry 2. I've tried a little bit. Never got too far into it. What else? Trying to think here. I like a couple of the Burnout games. I like some of the NCAA, like early NCAA games. NCAA 06, I think was really fun. What else? I said Simpsons Hit and Run. I like that a lot. Just trying to think of what I have. Obviously the Half-Life stuff, Bioshock stuff, Saints Row. I want to say 2, 3, and 4. 3 and 4 more than 2. 3 and 4 are a lot more similar. This guy also asked what other game developers you like. I guess like Bethesda and Valve, I guess, are the big ones. I would say Bungie, but they haven't made a Halo game in a while since 343 took over. So I guess like old Bungie maybe. I never played Destiny, so. Squiddy Fresh also asked about the Pile Xboxes. He asked, do I fix them? No, I don't fix them because they all work. I assume, I haven't checked them in a little bit. I hear about this thing you're supposed to take out or else it'll like melt and ruin stuff. So I don't know if I have those. I gotta worry about that eventually. I try not to think about that though. Tim F asked any plans for an updated thumbnail soon? It's a good question. Maybe no one's noticed this, but I do update the thumbnail every year. So I've had 3 versions of the thumbnail. The first version I used throughout 2017 was just the hash marks, and then in 2018 I switched to Roman numerals. And then now for 2019, I switched to what my current thumbnail is, which was inspired by like a safety board, where you see it has been 0 days, or been 12 days since the last accident. I kind of inspired the thumbnail on that. So once 2020 rolls around, I will have a new thumbnail. I have no idea what that's going to be like. Just rolling up here. Paul the Fonz asked, what's your opinion on me? I guess you're cool. Turtle Proof asked, how do I send you some tissues so you can blow your nose and some water so your tongue doesn't click? Said these are on-screen basics. If you wanted to send me money for tissues, you could support me on Patreon, and I will absolutely, definitely use that money to buy tissues. 100%. You have my word, I promise. Uh, let's see. Azor asked, are you going to buy the $1,000 Valve Index or any other VR headset to play Half-Life Alyx? He asked, why do I have so many Xboxes laying around? I guess that was the big question, apparently. People see 9 Xboxes stacked up, they wonder, well, why has he got 9 Xboxes? And again, VR, the Index is what I would like to buy. $1,000 is super steep. What I want to know is if it's possible that I can just buy the Knuckles by themselves and then buy an actual cheaper headset. Because I mean, if that's possible, I'll do that. Because the main thing I really want is the Knuckles. I don't need the Index headset itself. I want the Knuckles. So if there's a way that I could have the Knuckles and a cheaper headset that's still quality, I don't want to just buy the cheapest headset possible. I do want a quality headset. So if there was a way I could mix it up a little bit, then I would do that, because I feel like that would be more affordable. Because that is a steep price, $1,000 for the Valve headset. That is the end of that video. We'll go on to the second video. I think there's going to be more questions on here because it was a shorter video. I feel like a lot of people didn't ask questions in that last video because I asked for questions at the end. Not many people stuck around. Let's see. Tails Doll asked, do I have a full-time job? I don't currently have a full-time job. I'll maybe explain that in the next question. Ozki asked, have you been to college? I'm currently going to college right now. So after college, I plan on having a full-time job. He also asked, how should I proceed to give you $2 million? I think if you wanted to give me $2 million, I feel like there might have to be some alternative way of doing it. Because I don't want, like, the government and the IRS taking, like, 60% of that away for taxes. So I feel like Patreon wouldn't be the best bet for that. Maybe you could just, like, periodically buy me expensive things and give them to me as gifts. I feel like that would be the best way. So you could buy me like some $3,000 computer and give it to me, and then I would kind of like chip away at it slowly over time. Rectangle Boy, I remember that name from earlier. He asked me how much were these glasses. I had no idea how much my glasses were. I don't pay attention to crap like that. He also asked me, what does the room you film in look like? It's square, I guess rectangle-ish, blue walls. The ceiling's blue too. I got some gray carpet on the bottom. It's a mess. Yoto XP asks, your poster looks slightly tilted. Straighten it out, please. That wasn't a question. It seemed more like a demand. So, no, I won't do that. The Gorgonospid. You people with your names, like, come on. He asked a couple questions too. What made you decide to start doing daily Half-Life 3 updates? I originally wanted to do other stuff on my channel, and it seemed to be starting kind of slow, so I was trying to think of stuff that I could do on my channel that would kind of be filler, so that I would have more content on my channel than just putting something out like every 3 weeks. I wanted to have content. And then the idea came to me of doing the daily Half-Life 3 updates, sort of being an homage to post-apocalyptic movies or TV shows where you'll see someone talking into a camera and they'll be like, it's been 239 days since the virus outbreak. And that's just kind of what inspired that. X-Leap asked, how did you make sure you didn't miss a day for 746 days? I have missed a couple days. And usually when I miss a day, I just blame it on having bad internet. But I haven't missed a day in a long time. It's been like maybe like 300, 400 days since I missed one. And honestly, at this point, it's just become second nature to me. You know, some people brush their teeth every day in the morning. I mean, I also do that, but I also, you know, it's just like, it's it's second nature. I don't think about it. I just do it. It just happens. Redbeard Escapades asked two. He also had two questions. People really pushing it here. Did you ever get to try VR? No, I haven't tried VR. And thoughts on J.J. Abrams' Portal, Half-Life movies. Yeah, we haven't really heard anything about that. That was announced in like 2015, which of course that was a big year for J.J. Abrams, doing Force Awakens, and now he's doing Rise of Skywalker. I would like that very much. I really like J.J. Abrams as a director. I think he would be a good pick for Portal and Half-Life movies. I feel like maybe there's other people who would be better picks. Not better, but who would fit more. Someone like a Dan Trachtenberg, who is not as well known. I think Dan. No, yeah, he started with Portal. He made the Portal. He made the Portal. He made like a Portal movie, and that's kind of what got him Cloverfield. Dan Trachtenberg, if I'm saying that right. I feel like I might be adding a syllable there where it doesn't belong. So I think there's other smaller directors who could be a good choice too. So I feel like J.J. Abrams, he's probably too tied up in the big stuff, the blockbuster crap now, to venture into that. But besides that, I think a Half-Life movie or a Portal movie would be great. I think of two video game franchises that I would think would most benefit, well, I would say three video game franchises that would most benefit from movies would be Half-Life, BioShock, and Fallout, because those video games, in my opinion, rely so heavily on the atmosphere and just the visual aesthetic that I think that would translate over to movies very well. Blake Benfield asked, why did you make this channel, and how long do you think you will keep it up? I made this channel because I wanted to talk about movies and video games and TV shows. Mostly movies and TV shows, or mostly movies. And then I ended up doing this. How long do I think I will keep it up? No telling with the daily updates. I mentioned reasons why I would stop. Even if I did get to one of those reasons why I stopped making daily Half-Life 3 updates, I would probably keep making the other stuff that I do, because I do also like doing that other stuff a lot. And I kind of care more about that. I do kind of care about that other stuff more than the daily Half-Life 3 updates, even though that stuff doesn't do very well, but I don't care. Malakahuza, he asked a very similar question to the first one. Would you rather fight one Hurley-sized head crab or 5 head crab-sized Hurleys? I think the answer to that would rather fight 5 head crab-sized Hurleys, because a regular-sized Hurley isn't very skilled in fighting, so he'd be easier to take down, I would think. Koba asked if I'm a fan of Nintendo games. Are you excited for any of the upcoming ones? Excited for any upcoming Nintendo games? No. I haven't cared about Nintendo in a while. I haven't played that many games. I know there was a couple Mario Brother games that I played on, like, Game Boy Advance, the one you flip open. I played Yoshi's Island, Wario World, something like that. I played a couple games on Game Boy, and that was it. I haven't played anything on consoles or PC, and I haven't played a Nintendo game in a while. He also asked what my favorite genre of music is and some of my favorite bands. My favorite genre of music, I have a wide variety of genres of music I like. I do kind of dip my toes into various genres. But overall, I would say the largest is classic rock, maybe some like alternative too. And as for my favorite band, this is something I always get crap for whenever I say this, and I'm being completely serious when I say this. My favorite band is Smash Mouth, and it has no connection to Shrek. I don't like it because of the meme. I always did like Smash Mouth, even before Shrek came out. I always get crap for that, but I like Smash Mouth a lot. James Werner asked, why is this man not happy about Half-Life Alyx? I never said I wasn't happy about Half-Life Alyx. You should pay attention to what I'm watching. Akumi Nya 02 asked, have you played the Half-Life series? No, I haven't played the Half-Life series, but I plan on playing the Half-Life series very soon, exclusively on Patreon. The link will be in the description below. Unlimet333 asked, why do you have so many Xboxes in the background of your video? Scroll back to earlier in this video to answer that question. Okay. Bilbo Bagpipe asked, how are you doing? Doing pretty good. I was able to get a good night's sleep last night because I didn't have to go to work today, so that was pretty good. VV Trey asked, what, you've never played Half-Life? Like, not even Half-Life Source? I didn't... Is Half-Life Source a different thing? Is it just like Half-Life on the Source engine? I didn't know that was a separate thing, but I haven't played it. Let's see. Yellow Pudding asked, what are your top 5 favorite TV shows? Another good question. I like when I get questions that aren't just, why do you have so many Xboxes, or have you played Half-Life? Favorite TV shows. Number 1, obviously being Lost. And then a very close number 2 would be It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Then I would say I got Twin Peaks up in there. I have Psych up in there. I don't know why I'm saying up in there. Red vs. Blue would be 5, and Red vs. Blue might be higher than 5. But if you don't count Red vs. Blue as a TV show, which I've had that argument with some people, if you don't count Red vs. Blue as a TV show, I would throw Jericho in there as well. So that's your 5. But Lost, It's Always Sunny, Twin Peaks, Red vs. Blue, Psych. Those are some really good shows there. Let's see. Native Fall asks, does Half-Life Alyx count? And I guess that's kind of the question of the time, or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. Is Half-Life Alyx Half-Life 3? From what it appears, no. Half-Life Alyx isn't Half-Life 3, but it could be. There have been some theories going around about how Half-Life Alyx could be more than it seems, but from what we know, from the base knowledge that we're given, it's a prequel to Half-Life 2, so it would be more like Half-Life, 1.5 or 1.75, maybe 1.75, probably a little closer to Half-Life 2 than Half-Life 1, because Alyx was just a little baby in Half-Life 1, and this does take place somewhat after the 7-Hour War, which would be interesting to get a time frame of when the 7-Hour War took place, how long after the events of Half-Life 1 the 7-Hour War actually took place. That would be interesting to know. But even if it's not Half-Life 3, it's still the third Half-Life game. Just kind of look at it like Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Yeah, sure, The Phantom Menace is technically the 6th Star Wars movie they made. It's Star Wars 1. See, they made Star Wars New Hope, and then they made Empire Strikes Back, and they made Return of the Jedi, they made a couple Ewok movies, and then they made Phantom Menace. So it's the 5th one, but it's not really the 5th one, it's really the first one, and, it's the 6th one, but it's not really the 6th one, it's really the first one, and the 6th one is technically Revenge of the is technically Force Awakens, even though that's actually the 7th one. And it's also kind of the 4th one because you don't count the Ewok movies anymore. So it's complicated. Half-Life Alyx is technically the 3rd Half-Life game. It's not Half-Life 3. Because from what we're seeing, Half-Life Alyx seems to be like a huge tentpole, groundbreaking game like Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 was. See, you don't really consider Episode 2 and Episode 1 to be the 3rd and 4th Half-Life games because they're not as big of a tentpole game as Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 were. I think I'm getting towards the end here. And last question is from Richard Rich. He asked, do you expect me, honestly, to pay money to help you buy a video game so that I can watch you play that video game? Well, Richard, I have come to expect nothing from you, and I'm still disappointed. But I would say that I can understand why someone would think that's crazy, but because I kind of do think that's crazy, but this isn't like a new thing, you know. People have done Patreon before. They get rewards from Patreon, and you know, people pay them money. You know, PewDiePie gets like billions of dollars every year for making stuff that's honestly not that good. I think it's no big deal for me to make, you know, $60 a month for doing some stuff that I think is kind of good. So, yeah, that seems like the end of it. Alright, yeah. And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for November 23rd, 2019.